Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on sales and operation planning, chapter 14 from our book. And in this video tutorial, I will guide you through this crucial aspect of business management. We will learn about sales and operation planning and how this concept acts as a connection between a company sales, finance, and operation department. We will uncover the process of reconciling, which is the most important aspect, of our learning today. The process of reconciling differences between forecast and actual production, actual process, and learn how to use various tools and techniques, to effectively manage capacity and demand. I hope through this you can apply this concept in practice, for example, in your project case, or later on when you work in companies. Why this topic is important? Because effective sales and operation planning is essential for any organization that want to grow. It enables company to align their resources with their strategic goal, respond effectively to market changes, and ultimately improve their profitability. Things company, you can imagine companies like Apple or Amazon, their success heavily relies on how well they can predict demand and align their operation to meet this demand efficiently. Okay, let's start with this concept. I will go to the next slide. So this is the learning objective, as I already mentioned before, we will learn about sales operation planning, and we will learn about various tools, and technique to adjust capacity and manage demand. Okay, through this video tutorial, we will also have this classroom response system, CRS form session, where I will ask you a question, or a discussion topic, and you should respond by answering, through that CRS form. So let's try with the first question from me. I hope you have studied before, you have read the chapter from the book, you have finished with the pre-lesson exercise, or assignment in Camilo, so you are ready, to have this video tutorial session. Okay, let's start with the first question. Get ready, and there will be timer, so there will be a specific time available for you to respond. Now you will see that timer on this slide also. Okay, so the first one, as you can see also here, there's a timer here, the start, time is up. So this is the timer. So you have to respond before the time run out. My first question is, what is sales and operation planning process? Okay, I will give you 1 minute, to respond to this question. As you can see, there's a stopwatch here, What is sales and operation planning? Okay, about 30 seconds left. Only 30 seconds left. It's important at the beginning to understand, what sales and operation planning means, before we go deeper, on this subject. Right, time is up. I hope you have submit your response, classroom response system number 1. And again, 5 students who answers the first, the earliest one, earlier one, will get a leaderboard point. So what is sales and operation planning process? As you can see here, it is a process that determines the resource capacity to meet demand over an intermediate time. As you can see here, the keyword is intermediate time horizon. As you may know, from the books, there are 3 types of time horizon in operations. The first one is the short-term horizon, which is daily plan or weekly plan, and then intermediate time horizon, which is our topic today, sales and operation planning, usually in weekly or 3-monthly period planning, and finally, long-term time horizon, which is 1 year or more planning. And in most business, usually the most critical one is this one, the intermediate time horizon or monthly planning. So it is a common practice for any business, either manufacturing or services, to create monthly planning. And in terms of monthly planning, usually we also call it aggregate planning. That's why we come with this word, aggregate, which refers to sales and operations planning for product line or family. Usually monthly or 3 months. Every 3 months, we create what we call this aggregate planning. What is the objective? To establish a company plan for allocating resources, for allocating our capacity, people or machine. Because sometimes we have to prepare these resources in advance before production start. Usually every month a company prepare this plan before they start their production. This is what we call aggregate planning or intermediate time horizon planning. Right? Now, let's go to the next slide. This is the big picture of a company where we can see here, this is the repetitive situation, or repetitive challenges faced by any company. The first one, they face demand, and the company do demand forecast. Sometimes or usually demand is up and down. And at the same time, they have capacity constraint, because company usually only have this normal capacity, this particular amount of capacity. Now we have some discrepancy here. We have up and down demand, while at the same time we have fixed capacity constraint. And that's why come this planning. So the idea of planning is how to reconcile, and usually the common practice is to do this monthly, how to reconcile this sales plan with operation plan. So this is very critical. This is very important in business to make sure that production can meet sales demand or customer demand. And this is what we call sales and operation planning. Okay? Now, let's go with the second question. Now, get ready. For this second question, I will give you 1 minute to respond. So get ready. So this is CRS form number 2. Okay, please get ready. You should ready by now. So all you do is just type the answer. Answer to my question, and I will give you 1 minute to respond to this second question. Okay. The question is, please list type of strategy for adjusting capacity. Okay, you have 60 seconds yeah, to answer this question. So to align between sales plan or forecast demand with production plan yeah, or capacity plan, yeah, we have some strategies, some tools, some techniques. Yeah, our book mentioned yeah, several techniques to do this alignment. So please answer this question by list or tell all option, yeah, all techniques for adjusting capacity. Okay, we have almost 10 seconds left, yeah, so have to be quick to answer this question. Okay, time is up, and the answer is in the next slide. Yeah, as you can see here, yeah, our book mentioned many techniques, yeah, for adjusting capacity or for aligning demand with capacity. Level production, change demand, peak demand, overtime and undertime, subcontracting, part-time workers, and back ordering. Okay, as you can see, yeah, the explanation also in the slide. And I already asked a lot of questions, yeah, about this technique, yeah, in Camilo exercise. So as long as you did the Gemelo exercise while reading the textbook, you should understand really well, yeah, each of these techniques. Now, I will go deeper by asking you the third CRS form. Yeah, so CRS number 3. And here I will give you 2 minutes. Yeah, that's quite long, yeah, 2 minutes to respond. Now, we have, as you can see in the slide, several techniques yeah, for adjusting capacity. So my question is, which technique is the easiest to implement in operation? Yeah. Which technique is the easiest to implement in operation and why? And then secondly, which technique from all of the techniques listed here is the most difficult one to implement in operation and why? Okay, please answer now and I will give you 2 minutes to respond. My question is, which one yeah, of these techniques is the easiest one to implement and why? Yeah, you should mention yeah, the reason. And secondly, which one is the most difficult to implement and why? Yeah, again, please give the reason. I will give you full point, yeah, up to 2 leaderboard point if you respond to this question really well, yeah. Okay, yeah, we still have more than 1 minute left. Yeah. Okay, please answer now. About 1 minute left. 30 seconds left. Yeah, you can see the timer yeah on the slide ticking down. Okay, time is up. I hope you can answer the question, yeah? If you already read the book or do the exercise, this will be an easy, yeah? An easy challenge for you. So the most easiest one is the level production technique. This is the most easiest one to implement. And the most difficult is the chase demand. This is the most difficult one. Why? We will learn soon, yeah? Explanation, yeah, in more detail on the next slide. Okay? So we will learn how to do level production capacity plan and chase demand capacity plan, and why level production is the easier one compared to the chase demand. Okay? So you get ready with the next slide, which is actually another challenge. So for the next slide, I will give you another question, another challenge, which is very easy. So you only have 30 seconds. Yeah, I repeat, you only have 30 seconds to answer. So get ready, yeah, with CRS, with your CRS form, yeah. So this is for the next question, number 4. Get ready, yeah, because I only give you 30 seconds for Moodle Classroom Response System number 4. Okay, 30 seconds, yeah. Get ready. I hope you are ready now. So I will move to the next slide. As you can see here, yeah, number 4. My question is, can you explain what is number 1 and number 2? What is number 1 and number 2 there? I will give you only 30 seconds, so you have to be quick. What is number 1 and number 2 in these two figures, yeah, or two charts? Ah, time is up. Okay, time is up. Now we can see, yeah, what is number 2, as you can see, yeah, in this slide. So number 1 is the level production technique. And as you may know, yeah, from the beginning of this video tutorial, I already mentioned that sales and operation planning is all about synchronizing between sales plan or sales demand with production plan or capacity plan. And as we know, sales demand is usually up and down, yeah, as you may also see in this chart. So level production capacity plan means the company try to set a fixed unit quantity, you may find it here, for their production. So the company will produce in same quantity every time for each day or each week. And it will happen, as we may see, yeah, in this diagram, the first chart, yeah, during the earlier period, the demand will be lower, yeah, lower than the production capacity. It means the company will have inventory. This is the inventory. And then for the next period, demand will be higher with the production capacity because we only produce same amount of volume. So in this period, this inventory will fill, yeah, this additional demand, and so on. How the company satisfy demand, yeah, by having this level production strategy. On the other hand, or on the opposite side, chase demand means our production capacity will follow the demand curve. So when the demand down, we will reduce our capacity, maybe by laying off workers, for example. And when the demand increase, we will hire work. And then when the demand going down again, we will release our workers again, and so on. So we try to keep up with sales demand. That's why chase demand strategy is usually much more difficult to implement. Yeah, much more because we have to be very flexible, yeah, in attaching with the demand fluctuation, which is quite hard, yeah, in real business situation. While level production is relatively easy because we just have to set the specific production target and keep with that number throughout the whole period. So this is much easier to implement. Okay, now I hope you have understand, yeah, the difference between level production and chase demand. In real business situation, a company may choose only this technique or this technique. We call this pure strategies, or company may combine. So they use these two techniques together. For some period, they use level production, and from the other period, they use just demand. This is what we call mixed strategies. So usually in practice, company can apply the techniques individually or combine this technique. Usually combining this technique provide better result, yeah, than either use level or chase demand exhaustion. That's the explanation, yeah, from this slide. And we also have what we call this quantitative technique, yeah, linear programming, transportation, and other technique. So this is below, yeah, this is below our lesson. Yeah, this is optional. Yeah, we will focus to this calculation. Okay, but if you want to know this one, yeah, this more advanced, yeah, modeling technique, yeah, you can ask. But for this class, we will focus into pure strategies and mixed strategies. Right? Now, let's see from this case example. So this is a company, Quickly Pops, and their demand, as mentioned in this case, is fluctuating. Yeah. You can see here the demand, yeah, 70,100 and going down to 50,000. So the company want to prepare their production plan, their factory plan, to fulfill this demand. And there are two challenges for us. The first one is to use this level production technique and then chase demand. Okay, that's the first one. And later on, this is the combination technique. This is the cost. If we use workers, yeah, we have to pay the workers. Production cost per employee, hiring cost, firing cost, inventory cost. This one, yeah, the regular production cost. Okay, so how to do this? Using level production and chase demand. Please follow me for the next slide. And later on, yeah, you can replay again this video tutorial, yeah, to have a much better understanding. Yeah, for now, you can watch the tutorial from me, but later on you can watch again. Yeah, you can watch again how to do the calculation to make sure that you understand well, because this will be some of the exam question. Okay, now let's go with the next slide and get ready with TRS number 5. Okay. Are you ready with CRS number 5? Okay. Now, listen to my question. Yeah, I will give you 1 minute to answer. My question is, where do this number come from? Yeah, all this number come from. Okay, I will give you 1 minute to answer this question. Yeah. 92,500. Where do this number come from? This number is the key, yeah? Is the key for level production. Okay. 30 seconds. Okay, time is up. Yeah, as you can see here, where this number come from. So this is the average production for each quarter. As we may see here, we have 4 quarters with this demand for each quarter. The total demand is 370, as you can see here. So because we have this 4 quarters, so we just divided 370,000 by 4, and we will get this number. And because we have this technique, level production plan, it means that our production is keep consistent at this number to fulfill the demand. So as you can see, we have this demand, and we can also satisfy the demand by having this standard production of 92,500. Now, as you can see here, yeah, to have this 92,000, yeah, we need 72 for workers. Yeah, we come this number by dividing with this unit per quarter. So we need 74 workers. At the beginning, we only have 40 workers. It means we need to hire at the beginning of the quarter, first quarter, 34 workers. And that means also cost. So we will have this hiring cost 500 times 34. You can also hear. And secondly, because demand sometimes is below production. So the company also have inventory. In quarter 1, for example, 70,000 demand, but we have 92,000 production. So we have inventory here, 22,500. And there's also inventory cost, yeah, for each inventory, as you may see here, $1 per unit. So we have this 3 period of inventory situation and total 95 inventory. Yeah, it means the total inventory cost is 95,000 times 1 unit, or here 95,000 times $1. Okay, and finally, we also have this production cost because we produce 370,000 and its production cost is $10. So the total cost is 370,000 times 10. And then we can calculate the total cost. The total cost, if we use level production approach, is $3,812,000. Okay, so this is the total cost if we choose this technique. If you have some question, yeah, referring to this calculation, you can ask me, yeah, through WhatsApp message. Okay, or later on in our future meetings, yeah, in class. Now, how about the chase production? So the next slide is all about the chase production, yeah. Now, get ready with my question. So this slide explains about how to do calculation using chase demand. Now, my question is, how do we know that This slide explain about chase demand. From which part? Okay, and I give you 1 minute to answer the question. Okay, 30 seconds left. How do we know that this slide explain calculation using chase demand strategy? Classroom response system number 6. Please don't forget. Okay, time is up. It's easy, yeah? To respond to my questions, how do we know that this is a chase demand strategy? Through this column. As you can see here, the regular production follow the demand. Yeah, you can see here we have same number of production quantity. Again, the total is similar, yeah, 370,000. So this is what we call the chase demand strategy. So production always follow demand, and it also have some implication. For the first one, for example, we have demand and production exactly the same time, but for 70,000 production, we need 56 workers. At the beginning, we only have 40 workers, which means we need to hire 16 workers. And again, hiring cost is 500. Then we increase production into 100,000. Again, we need additional workers. For the third period, quarter 3, demand is 50,000 and we only produce 50,000, which means we need less workers. We need only 40 workers. So we have to lay off or fire 40 workers. And again, there are firing costs here or layoff costs, which is 500 per workers. Okay. And in total, as you can see here, we have 120 hiring workers and 40 firing or layoff workers with its total cost. As you can see here, 120 times 500 and 40 times 500. Because we produce exactly as the demand quantity, there is no inventory. So there is no inventory cost. The only cost is the production cost, which is 370,000 times 10 production cost per unit. And in total, as we can see here, the total cost is 3,078,000. Okay? And if we compare chase demand with our previous slide, can we go to the previous slide? 3.8 level production, 3.7 chase demand. So chase demand is more efficient than level production. Although in reality, yeah, the implementation of chase demand is harder because sometimes it's not easy, yeah, to hire new worker and even much more difficult, yeah, to lay off or fire the workers because there's some regulation, yeah, Indonesia that protect workers' right. So it looks easy, yeah, or looks efficient compared to level production, but in real operation situation, sometimes it's not that easy, yeah, to hire and fire workers, especially in Indonesia. Now, that's the major, yeah, content for our video tutorial today, yeah. The next one is to do exercise. So you will see two exercise. For this exercise, you don't have to do it while we do this live streaming, but you must do it soon after we finish this live streaming or video tutorial session. So for Moodle Classroom Response System number 7 and number 8, yeah, please prepare your mobile phone. And when I show you the slide, please take a picture, yeah, take a photo shoot, yeah, of the slide, and then do the exercise as soon as we finish this video tutorial. And same also with classroom response system number 8, because we have two exercise. Yeah, please take a photo first and then wait until we finish this video tutorial and then try to do the exercise as soon as you can and submit the answers. And especially when you finish and answers earlier than your friend, you will get leaderboard point. Okay, so are you ready with your mobile phone? So this is the exercise 1. Please take picture of this, yeah. So this is the question. This is exercise 1. Please take picture. So this is CRS number 7, yeah. Take the picture and you should do the exercise as soon as this video tutorial ends. Okay, you have to take pictures, yeah, of this one. And this is for exercise number 2. This one, yeah. CRS number 8. Okay, please take a picture of this exercise. Okay, and do the exercise as soon as this video tutorial ends. And then when you submit your solution earlier, then you will get this leaderboard points. Okay, so that's the topics or the contents from this video tutorial. Yeah, I will see you again next week. So hopefully by learning these contents, yeah, comparing the total cost of different strategy between level production, chase, or mixed strategy, a company can make informed decision, yeah, about which production plan is the most economical. Okay, now the optimal strategy is always different on the context of the company, yeah, of the situation of the company. Hopefully you have a lot, yeah, learn a lot through this session, and please make your time, yeah, to do the exercise to ensure you understand today's course. Yeah, after this video tutorial ends, yeah, later on you can also watch the video tutorial, yeah, this video tutorial again, yeah, and then enhance your understanding, yeah, to prepare for our anthem exam. Okay, so see you next week. Goodbye and good luck.